Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction to Death Note. It is episode 20 and as always, if you want to see the reaction itself, just go down into my descriptions, follow the links, replace the parentheses, dot points with real dots and enjoy. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear my thoughts about this episode. So, see you soon. To those that came back, welcome back. Now, let's all be friends, right? What a weird episode. So let's see. I mean, in the end, I think L played them this time. I'm not completely sure, admittedly, because I'm really not sure how much of it was him playing Light and Miss Amane, and how much of it was meant real. I mean, he really wants to use her. She is completely fallen for Light, so you can be sure she will never do something that would hurt Light. So that's something he can use. But I think he's using her to make Light do some stuff. He's using the love that she feels for Light, the weird way that is, to make her do more neither everything now. I'm pretty sure he did not realize he would get kissed. And I'm already waiting for some weird stuff there, like all the time, because he is highly intelligent and whysoever, Miss Amane loves that. That is one thing that she loved in Light or Kira, in both ways. So we will see. They have a new partner on the inside now, more neither partner, Namikawa, which I will write down now, just realized. And he was able to postpone the death of some people for 1 month because they're waiting for Coil to act. I think that went pretty smoothly, pretty nice for them. I asked myself if none of the other 6 of the group realized something was off, because his idea of postponing everything was directly after the phone call, you know? And I don't remember we've ever seen any one of them having a phone call in the room, but then we only saw some of the time, so. But it was very fitting there, just time-wise, so I kind of guess that at least one of them will be suspicious. We have a bit of a split now of the group, of the investigation. It feels a little bit like what they fused together in the past now is breaking apart a little bit. But I do see the reasons. I mean, they are in this tight spot, especially the detective, being a man of law, a man of justice. He knows they want to kill. So he has to act to stop the killing already. While L is on the path of having to find out the truth, knowing that if you just stop these murders now, it will not stop all the future ones, because it's very likely that Kira would get away then. And that is the main problem. If they show up now, if they stop the killing now, then they may stop the Yotsuba group, but whoever or whatever Kira is will be aware of what is happening and will hide in the shadows again and will strike again later on, and they just have nothing then. Now they know Kira is somewhere there, somewhere connected, and they are able to use their con artist and Wendy to get in and gather information to find the real Kira and possibly to find out the truth about the Death Note, right? But if they shush them away now, if they stop it now, they will not find this evidence. Or if so, then way too late. And that's the problem. I can see both of their points, I can see the problem, and in many ways L sees this as well. He already mentioned. He says it's no question that it would be a good thing to stop the killing now, and I see why you want it, right? He sees it from a wider viewpoint, from farther away. I don't know, man, and I do not really see a solution. By getting 1 month, however, now the point that they have 1 month before it will happen should give enough time to the chief and his men to come up with a plan so that they can stop the killing without showing that they are around. I mean, 30 days, it's a lot of time. So I guess there will be something happening. Maybe an investigation against the elf group by them. You know, like they found evidence that the elf group themselves is a bit dirty, which is very likely. I mean, we're talking about people in the business, right? So there is always something. And thus they will get stopped on investing into the Japanese market, and that would very likely call off the death shots on them. Just saying. Which does not mean they will not go after other than, but at least those would be saved. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for, some solution like that. We know that Hatsori is dead now, the number 8 of the Yotsuba group. It was kind of clear that this would happen. And it means something to all the others. If you want to leave here, you will die. That's, well, they all seem to be okay with it. But I'm pretty sure there are 1 or 2 who are a little bit shaking now. I mean, not everyone is as hearted, stone-blooded, right, like the others. So some will be a little bit shaky now. But what we have now is a new intro and a new outro, and that's what I want to go for. So let's see. Here we are. I was a little bit surprised in the beginning because I was like, what the heck? Did I get the wrong series? That's different, and it's very loud. But it's Death Note. So seeing this picture, I first thought, okay, is this light crying in pain, fear, something like that? But when you look closely, and you can see it, I think, even better in the version where many of his faces. I think he's laughing manically, in the meaning of having fun. You know, this weird version that if you have someone laughing manically as a human being with empathy, you feel like, okay, something is wrong with this guy. I better get away. He's dangerous. Because he's uncontrolled. And then we have the the scene with L. I like that, the turnaround. The easy. I think it might refer to L in the meaning of calm down, stay on course. Just think about it. He is still trying to get Kira. And what he's realizing and learning all the time is just, you know, what are you up against? This is supernatural. It's not human. It's weird. I was a bit surprised about the weapons part. I mean, this looks a little bit like from, I don't know, a 70s series, Miami Vice, something like that, right? You know, the cop, the hair, a shotgun, very American style. Back in his car and all like that. But it feels, if this is a little bit of a foreshadowing, they will go in with more weapons, which is interesting. I mean, seeing that the investigation split up now, that might be happening if they're going against normal people, not Kira themselves. Maybe, just maybe. They will go more physical. Miss Amana, okay. I'm the texts of the intro and the outro, by the way, are not very easy for me to get because they are very broken down. They are not really full sentences. It's just, you know, screaming. Just short ones, and I'm not sure if I get an idea about what all of them are about. Full of cases for concern that might be about like everything. There are a lot of reasons for concern. For Miss Amane, from her side as well, right? She is a cause for concern for sure as well. So, I don't know, man. I love this picture. Because, and they have Light or Kira in this case, I guess, pretty often in this weird viewpoint of him in the center with being, you see he's evil or there's something gloomy about him, but still like a figure of, I wouldn't say respect, authority, possibly, that's it. Looking down in this way, a little bit like self-proclaimed God looking down. A hymn to humanity, well, you could talk about that, not from his viewpoint. There we are again. It's this interesting concept of him being dark. I think this is a con artist, but I'm not sure. I was a bit surprised about him. Lots of people. Here we see. I like this picture. Because that is light. You could see it. If you see in his eyes, that is light. It's not Kira. He is surprised, he's kind of shaken up. And I like the fact that they have the mirror breaking in his head. And I think this might refer to the moment we will have in the future of Kira being back inside him. The moment when Light for a split second realizes L was right all the time. I was Kira. When your own image in the mirror here shatters before your own eyes and you come to the realization, I am something different, someone different. I think this is what it might be referring to, and I really like that. It might be harsh for multiple reasons. I somehow wish people to never experience that, and somehow I wish them to experience that because it will change your life. When you realize that you're kind of lied to yourself very long. There are moments like that in life, very often not nice ones, admittedly, because we try to put up an image for ourselves where we are the good guy, right? Where we are a nice person, a good person, we could never do anything bad, and then when you realize, man, I did hurt someone, I don't know, right? Did some crap. You come back from work and you realize, oh man, I sold out to work, right? I did something I would have never believed I would have done. So this mirror splittering image is something I know, but it's a way different thing for Light, and I'm kind of waiting for it because that will be an interesting moment, and I really wait for it. I discussed that in the past. Light against Kira inside his head will be interesting. Okay, and it is kind of the end. Yeah, it is the end of the intro. Very fitting. I like it. Now for the outro. So, I mean, we are talking about the Yotsuba group, so it's very fitting that as a picture they have, I think it is Light, in a business suit. I like that. I mean, he is always very good, very well dressed. That feels a little bit like he's in an escalator, going up or down, who knows. A fleeting tactics in the eyes. There we are. There's a little bit more about the text, though, I already realized. A single page, forever depressing. So, this single page, that's interesting. What are they referring to? It might be a page out of the Death Note. I mean, we have seen that Light used single pages in the past from the Death Note. This is a very wide shot now. It might be something like that he made a single page which causes the death of someone he would have never thought he would kill. Just calling family here, right? I hope it's not happening, but seeing how Kira developed during the episodes where he was Kira, right, where he was inside Light, the original statement from Light that he would never go against his family is something I believe he would go back on. He would change later on because he's going down a path more and more, and that's a path of darkness. So that might be something that will be happening. I don't know, however, we will see. That's the one thing. It might be something very different. The single page might be the fact that Kira is a page inside of him. Or it might be like anything, you know? That's what I meant by those not completed sentences, those not completed stories in the intro and outro are very hard to analyze. If there's something in it, or if it's just, you know, cool sounding words fitting to the music. So then, I don't know, man. I mean, he right now, Light is chained, kind of, in prison, next to L. Um, petitioning evil against the law. I don't know, man. That's just feels to me like random words. That sentence is completely garbled for me. It may have a meaning, but it's one of those sentences where you can later on put something in when something happened. Right now, I mean, the song's original not in English, so it gets translated into English, which is then always a problem already. And I'm not a native speaker of English either, so for me this is a lot of mixed up, unclear stuff, right? It may mean something, but I'm really unsure about that one. Poison the notebook, fear the lost. Once again, this sentence is mixed up, but I may think of something here because I would change that a little bit around. And here we are at the problem of subbed episodes, of subbed series. I think what it may mean is that the notebook poisons you, right? Because if you have the notebook, you are poisoned by power. You're poisoned by this wanting to use the power, becoming godlike, as we've seen with Light. Fear the lust of killing, the lust of having power. There's no such thing as power, and no such thing will make you fall as a human being. We have a saying in German. I just tried, and I just tried to bring that into English. It's about corruption. Power corrupts, and ultimate power corrupts ultimately. It is this idea. No, it doesn't not matter how good a person is, how genuine and nice. If you give a person power, there is a good possibility, a high possibility that this person will become corrupt. And if you give a person ultimate power, it is even more likely. And it is all for the greater good, just as we see with Kira. He does what he does for the greater good, to better humanity. So it's a little bit like the mirror image we had before. In the mirror, Light / Kira sees himself as a good person, saying, I do all of this to make humanity be better, right? I take away all those criminals and humanity will be better and will be thankful to me. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for the greater good, right? All calls to the Tau Empire. Those who got the reference, you're welcome. However, if you see it from another viewpoint of someone, as example, a relative of one of the dead ones, you are just a criminal yourself. You are possibly even worse than that. You're like the devil. You're just killing because you can and you want to. So that's the problem there. Your own face in the mirror, you always tell yourself you're good and you're perfect and you're doing it for the right reasons, right? Because you could not live with yourself otherwise. But if the mirror shatters and you realizes what you have done, how many people you've killed in this case here, could you still live with yourself? And that's the question. How long will it take until Kira has taken over Light so completely that he just does not care anymore? So fear the lust of power. Delusion of being deceived, perpetual ruling. I don't know about the second half. Delusion of being deceived. Well, that might refer somehow to light. This is really hard. Yeah, well, crime control. That is what Kira is doing, right? And his judgment. I don't know what they mean by the Rex. I mean RX. Is this referring to Rex in the meaning of Latin Rex, the king, the emperor? Rex? I don't think so. Maybe about the guts. Who has the guts for that? It might be that. We know that Kira has it. So, the decriminalized world, the vision that Kira has, no question there. Sanctioned as well, because he is God as well. I don't know Pirates of Death. Sorry. Yeah, and atone with a game of laws. Whose laws? His laws, Kira's ones, the laws of the Death Note, the laws of this world, which would be like police and stuff, right? Which laws do you have to atone with? I mean, living in this world, we all have to atone with the laws of this world, right? It may be thermodynamics or physics or the laws of man that we or our ancestors set up. You have to atone with it because some you cannot really change at all. I mean, physics is physics, right? But some you may try, but it's not so easy either. So if you go against the laws of your state, you will be in trouble. But if you do it with an initiative and gather people, you may be able to change them. But atone you have until that is done. I like that. Now it's time for ethics. Now the unstoppable eraser rain. Time for ethics. I really, really like that because that is what we've seen in this episode. Light and his father are very much about ethics, about that's wrong, you shouldn't do that, that's inhuman, right? Those moral compass they have in this episode, but by doing so, they run in front of the wall that L shows up to them. If we do that, you will not stop Kira, right? The unstoppable eraser rain is, I think it's a cool play on word because it's about erasing, deleting, killing people. Rain, right? It's just hitting randomly or at least many people. And eraser, if I'm not wrong, is another word for a writing, for pencil or something like that, for a writing utility, which is fitting as well because he's writing the names down. I like that. That's a clever play on word. If it already was meant like that, I don't know, man. I think that's it. I wrote down something else. -11. Let's see. Because there was something from the Death Note as well. There it is. 2-1. Okay. That is interesting. That's a weird one. I mean, I can only guess this will be possibly in the novel somewhere used. But that cannot be a coincidence. That would mean that someone did that on purpose. So it would be a clever way of proving that the Death Note is not working in the way that it does, right? So let's say L finds out or suspects if you write down a name here, the person will die. But you have a second Death Note, which, by the way, just saying, the one of Ryuk, because we already know that the Shinigami has to have a Death Note, right? So, and And you cannot see Ryuk unless you're touching the Death Note. So let's say Light / Kira wants to prove to L, hey, it's not this one. So he takes Van and he talked to Ryuk before what they want to do, and he says, here, see, I write down Light. And exactly, that's the problem, exactly in the same moment, 0.0 seconds, 0.06 seconds, maximum apart, Ryuk writes down Light as well in his Death Note. Just in this case, it will not work. Whew, I mean, that's a hard bargain there. That's a hard game, but it would work according to this one here. Wow. On more than two. On more than two. You need 3. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, you could use Miss Amana as well, but oh, that's a hard game. I don't know, man. But that's a weird law here. Really strange. Oh, the God of Death. Okay, that's a difference. That's not a... Although... Are they referring to any Shinigami here? I think they're referring to the leader of the Shinigami, to the god of the Shinigami, right? The one with the jewelry. Okay, but as I said, the one before is really... That one is really a weird thing. I don't know, man. It might be inside of the series, and if it is happening somewhere, we will know, okay, we got like a foreshadowing there. But that is a very hard thing to set up. And you have to know that. You know, you have to know that rule. And even then, I don't know, man. Someone just slipping a moment there and you're dead. That's dangerous. Okay, there was however, a really cool episode and an interesting new intro and outro. A little bit too loud for me, but it's okay. You know, it's music. So what? And I will see you in the next episode. I hope you liked. I did for sure. And until then, my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.